the roars for Femke Bol. Well, in Munich, Femke Bol set the championship record of 52.67.
National record holder. Another long-standing record that she took over. Finns have had to wait for recent track records, but a great generation coming through. What about the Dutch, led by Femke Bol? Second semi-final now underway. And athletes off on one lap of the track with these barriers to negotiate. And Femke Bol, like we've said for Karsten Warholm and Jakob Ingebrigtsen and Keely Hodgkinson, shouldn't have to work too hard. Though, of course, this is a semi-final, so that's normally where the competition really steps up. She was given such a tall order to close down the top three in the mixed relay final. Coming through for a medal, but this is the big event for her. Sometimes it's hard to say what her best event is, given how good she is over the 400-metre flat. Yikova coming through incredibly well for that second spot. 54.17 comes up on the clock for Femke Bol here. So, as expected, she's through to the final.
Absolutely brilliant from the Czech. 54.59. A strong semi-final once more. Here is Bol looking uber relaxed. She always does, and that mixed relay the other night when she was charging down the home straight, unbelievably relaxed, running 54.16. And hear the roars for Femke Bol. Well, in Munich, Femke Bol from the inside. Foloronso, Italy. Diallo, Portugal. Jicheva, Czechia. Kloster, Norway. Bol, the Netherlands. Marival, France. And Bol, as you might imagine, in lane 6, flying out of her blocks. She's the first to rise at the first barrier. She's coming round. They're at the 200-metre mark. Behind her, it's really just a battle for the silver medal. Peters is winning that battle at the moment as they come round the far bend. Kloster also doing well, the Norwegian in lane 5, but it's Bol. She's just pulling away from her rivals with every single step, every single stride. She's over the last barrier, and now she's just heading for home. It's just a question of Bol versus the clock. What a wonderful performance from Bol. And behind her, Marival comes through so strongly. She looks as though she was struggling a little bit down the back straight, but really recovered with a very strong second half of the race. Bol, well, she worked hard for that. She's already had an outing in the mixed relay as well, where the Dutch team got the bronze, but she is once again the European champion.
Well, Phil, you know what she will be really pleased about there is that the stride pattern worked perfectly. She didn't blast off too fast. She only really got into her running after about 50 or 60 metres. But that is significantly quicker than she ran in Stockholm 10 days or so ago. I think she was probably a little bit disappointed to not have gone faster. That is the quickest time in the world this year. It is faster than McLaughlin Levrone over in the USA ran a couple of weeks ago. That was a 52.70. So this from Bol behind her. We knew it would be that way. There's nobody as close to her as one or two of the fellas were tonight behind Warholm. But yeah, dominant run there. We know that they have to run to their stride pattern, eyes front, in a sort of blinkered fashion, not worry about what's going on around them. So she's used to this.
Marika Popovic-Drapala, Ila Baumgart-Vitan and Natalia Kaczmarek. And there is that Dutch squad, the defending champions. Lieke Klaver goes in on the first leg. Kathleen Peters, Lisander Witte and Femke Bol. 2022 in 48.5, and she's a better athlete now. She's the world record holder indoors over 400 metres. 2 world records indeed. Last winter at 400 metres for Femke Bol. A couple of nights ago, the world's fastest time.
Well, away they go. Clavers is the ideal athlete there, left a picture to have on the first leg. She commits. She's a very, very strong runner at the best of times, but with a relay bat in her hand, she's one of those who just raises her game. Second leg runner has run their first 100 metres. If they go into the back straight, they will pass little red markers, and then they will be able to break from lane. So the stagger here is deceptive, and the Dutch will need to stay out in lane 8 for the whole of this third bend. But they lead, I think, by not a huge margin. Good run from Clavers. The Irish and the Poles going well behind.
Yes, Claver handing over to Kathleen Peters, the 400 metres hurdles silver medalist, and the new face in this Dutch squad after the winning quartet in 2022. And it's Peters at the front at the moment. Alina Popovic-Drapala trying to close her down, but Adeleke making up a lot of ground. Adeleke's had such a good championships, and that silver in an Irish record just a couple of nights ago in the women's 400 metres. Now Adeleke closing, and she's got to give a lead over to Ireland's third leg runner, Phil Healy, because Phil Healy is possibly the weak link on the Irish team.
Rashida Adeleke then takes them into the lead, the Irish. They are going to run their hearts out. They've already had a fabulous championships. 10, 15 metres or more if they're to hold Bol back on the final leg. Great running, though, from the Dutch athlete here. Lisanne de Witte ran leg 3 2 years ago in 51.2. Adeleke there, about 49.3 her split. Brilliant running. And the Irish have got to push on here. Phil Healy has got to try and get away from the Dutch athlete, but she's not doing that. The Italians having a great run, coming through in 4th place. Who'd bet against them getting a medal? It's the Belgians in 3rd at the moment at the final changeover. And now Bol, 2:31 at the changeover. Bol in the lead. Well, the chances of her getting caught here are absolutely minute. Maudsley, we know she's in fabulous form. Bol here looks supremely relaxed, doesn't she? And Maudsley will try desperately to get past the Dutch athlete here, who's slowed dramatically to allow 5 other teams to close up to her. Are they going to get past her? Looks to me like she's going to do just enough. Maudsley trying desperately to come back at her, pulling away from the rest. The Belgians in 3rd, but it is gold and a retention of gold for the Dutch once again. 3:22.39. And really was toying with the opposition, doing as little as possible, maybe under instruction.
During the course of that last leg, Bol looking up at the screen, she knew exactly what was going on behind her. This is the first changeover, and then we get to the last one. This is Lisanne de Witte and Femke Bol, 3 of the 4 women who took gold 2 years ago in Munich. At this stage, Bol, 400 metres champion, but just tired. Maybe just too many races in her legs, but in the end it was Bol for the Dutch.
It was a stroll for her, an absolute stroll. And for Kaczmarek, 49.68, the individual champion for Poland, who was on their final leg. She was the individual 400 metres champion.
Legs, recent championships. Let's see how quickly he goes on this leg. Bonavaccia had a 45.27 leg in Budapest last year, and he started off quickly once again. Also starting off very well. Hannah Kelly just been called back. She was just a bit out of position there. Well, first to exchange might have been Secours and Van den Broek, the Belgians, but motoring now on the inside. Marika Popovic-Drapala coming through strongly. Good run here as well from Alla Polonari, the Italian, and it's the Italians in front at the moment, but really going through the gears down the back straight on this second leg. It's Lieke Klaver. Klaver, of course, a really fine 400-metre runner. So it's going to be Ireland that hand over in first place. Adeleke giving the baton over to her compatriot Thomas Barr. Thomas Barr, hugely experienced, just missed out on medals on a couple of occasions. The Dutch back in 3rd at the moment. Also the Poles a long way back. So this is the 3rd leg. These are the last men to run. And it's Alexander Doom Thomas Barr having an outstanding leg, really dipping deep. Coming out wide, Eduardo Scotti is trying to get up on level terms with the Irish, but it's going to be Belgium who take over going into the last leg. Charlene Maudsley right up on the shoulder of the Belgian Helena Ponnet. Well, we know Femke Bol can really do very, very well over the last 200 metres, but she's got a massive amount of ground to make up. Anna Mangione, and it's Maudsley, Bol coming, making a lot of ground up. She's going to probably get in the medals. She's overhauled the Belgians, but it's Ireland gold. Femke Bol did her very best, but her teammates just gave her too much ground to make up. No sense of a missed opportunity on this occasion.